Very serious question for you guys. Can you talk about developing your hair for the film? I was thinking about it the whole time. I'm sure everybody was.
Man with the stash.
Yeah, go ahead. So I think, yeah, the instructions were don't cut your hair, don't touch your facial hair. And so we went out there for pre-production, and then we did a round of trying on different wigs, different.
Some of us got mustaches, some of us didn't.
This man over here is very sad because we both showed up with the mustache, and I think I just had like a 1 week head start on him, so mine was just a little bit fuller. So Rick looked at us and was like, you guys look too much alike, and
we looked like Mario and Luigi, to be honest. It looked god-awful, but I would have still done it.
So one had to go, and unfortunately it was Ryan's. I think we threw him a memorial service that night because it was a sad day for him.
Lit the candle.
Yeah, we had to say goodbye to it. But yeah, it was definitely interesting shooting it. Thank God we were in Texas because it at least fit in a little bit more when you were out in public. And it happened to be November, so we got away with the Movember thing.
Why don't you ask him what's on his passport photo?
Yeah.
What's on your passport photo?
I had to renew my passport while we were shooting. Because I was leaving town right after we wrapped, and I didn't have time to do it at home. So for the next 10 years, my passport photo is McReynolds' mustache. It takes a little longer to go through customs than it used to, right?
Okay. We one day from shooting, we were shooting the blue hole scene where we're all jumping into the lake, swimming, and we get into the car afterwards, and we're in like this white van, and we're all in robes, and like 75% of us have stashes, so we see like this like car. Was it a family or was it a lady? It was somebody. But we roll down the windows and we're all staring, and they couldn't be any more freaked out.
The old pedophile van.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what kind of van.
Yeah, I know. Let's do some questions from the audience on that note. Anybody have a question? Dudes, throw your hand up. Yes, right there.
Yeah, you said you guys spent 2 weeks at his house. Do you have any interesting stories about that? Things that happened while you were there?
I mean, each day was a new story, I think. I mean, we'd wake up. I'm sure they have specific ones, but just to give you kind of overall feel of what happened, we'd wake up and go to dance class. So it's like a 1980s discos dance class. Some of us were pretty good. Some of us were working on it.
What are you trying to say, man?
You had no rhythm. But he was endearing in the no rhythm. Yeah, it's a good look on you. Not many people can pull that off, and you do. I love you. Anyway, so we'd go from there to baseball practice, from baseball practice back to Rick's estate, and then kind of do a workshop for, 6 hours or so? Yeah, in his library on the script, and adding scenes and improvising, and he'd kind of stop us every now and then and be like, oh, what'd you just say? Let's add that in there. By the next day, it was in the script, so we'd finish it off with what?
With a couple hours in the game room.
Game room, yeah, and then watching some movies.
Yeah, just hanging out with Richard Linklater, watching some of his
Yeah, no big deal,
Hey guys, I want to show you one of my favorite movies ever. Okay. One of them was Breaking Away.
Another one was No No. It was the Doc Ellis story.
Doc Ellis documentary. Animal House was one we watched. I'm trying to think of the.
We also watched the Aki Garrido.
El Surpasso. Italian film.
Yeah.
Beautiful, wonderful. It was crazy. The whole time we were at Rick's Ranch, like we all were sort of just mystified by this whole experience, and just kept sort of saying to each other, "This is crazy. Like we're rehearsing a movie, Richard Linklater's Ranch." But it really was like summer camp for, it's supposed to call it the farm. It was really like summer camp for actors and baseball player hybrids, which is what we all ended up being by the end of it.
I did make contact with the ball, but it kind of looked like 50 Cent pitching at the Dodgers game. It just kept going diagonal. And then I filmed myself, catching some ground balls and throwing stuff. But it was terrible. I mean, I'm lucky I got in because, my baseball skills tape was terrible. But I'll pass you along to the guy who's the most amazing guy at baseball on this team.
No, actually, I did something that I didn't know at the time. I don't think any of us knew, when we went in, what role we were really going to get. I remember getting the call that I was doing the film, and I was like, okay, cool, that's great. And then about a week later, I was like, by the way, what character am I playing? Because you read for a couple. And I found out that it was McReynolds, and I realized that I did something very McReynolds, is that I was out of town, so I didn't send in a skills video. I had my agent upload a video clip from when I was playing in the Super Regionals on ESPN. It was on YouTube. Such a McReynolds douchebag thing to do.
The Super Regionals.
Yeah. So that was my skills video. But I actually had to send. They weren't going to see me originally for the casting, so my manager had the idea to send an email to Rick. So I wrote Rick an email. Got the material that they were doing for the interview. Did a self-tape at home. And then eventually they kind of saw that in the video and were like, okay, let's have you come in. So I was one of those fighting for it ones, but kind of felt like this was like a meant to be kind of thing. I knew these guys too well.
Yeah, but after that video, I think we still had like a series of auditions to go to. I think I played with the dialogue in the room a couple times, and my last audition was with Glenn, who plays Finn, and we kind of had a chemistry read. It was the punk rock scene that we did in the final auditions. That was my journey.
So can you guys talk about working with Rick Linklater, what the process was like?
One of the crazy things about working with Rick is Rick as a person is just so laid back, but also just so incredibly smart at all times that when you're working with him, he's just so generous and just very casual about everything he'll say. So you're doing a scene sometimes and you're thinking, like, I've got to be messing this up some way. There's got to be something. And Rick just kind of, no, you're doing fine. So it's like this constant fear of like him not telling you something that you felt like you should know, you know. But just as a director, he was just incredibly generous and honest, and yeah, man, just like your favorite high school baseball coach, you know, just laid back and just zoned in at all times.
The ball went into two pieces. How you want to get to that happening is up to you. It's in slow motion. It's a low-budget movie. There's not a lot of CGI in this film. I'm just saying. However you want to come to that conclusion.
Wow. Any other questions? Yes, back there.
The movie has been promoted a bit as in spirit, a sequel to Days of Confused. Do you know if there was any discussion about a direct link in terms of a cameo at any point, or any kind of direct sequel to this?
I can say definitely no. That was something Rick set up really quickly right away. This was not in any way ever trying to live up to that, be that, emulate that. We were from day one doing our own thing, its own film. I think the fact that it's inspired by Rick's experiences kind of speaks to the idea that it's the spiritual sequel. It has the same kind of look and feel, and it's a window into this world. And so I think that was kind of the tie-in to it, but we never once referenced a character. I mean, we talked about the film, but never in reference to a scene we were working on or anything that we were trying to do with this film. So,
Any other questions? Yes.
I gotta ask why.
somebody, you're really excited to go out. Do you use one exclamation point or do you use two? I'm kidding. There you go.
See, we were going to go with 5, but then there was a whole thing, you know, space.
I could be wrong, but I'm actually pretty sure that that's in the song title as the 2 exclamation points.
Okay. Any other? Yes, over there.
For whoever said that tonight was their first time seeing it, what did you think, and was there anything surprising or disappointing?
Oh man, I was enjoying it with you guys. I was laughing my, what off, and yeah, it's very hard to. Oh, very nice. There was a lady right behind me who was laughing pretty much every other second. So thank you for that. But yeah, it was incredible to kind of see what we'd been working hard for, and I mean, I'd seen a rough cut of it, maybe was it 6 months ago, 7 months ago, yeah. But this, in its whole entity for what it is just it's just I feel honored to be a part of it, to be on this stage with these guys and be talking about this to you guys. Right there, yep. Yeah, you.
You guys seem to have easy chemistry during the movie. Can you describe the pre-production process? Did you guys hang out for a bit, or just on Rick's ranch?
Lots of code.
Yeah. On Rick's farm, we stayed. There was actually he has a couple different actual houses and structures on the property, and one of them is a big bunkhouse. So we literally lived and slept in the same room for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, in bunk beds.
Yeah, it's a big bunkhouse. So it was kind of like being at camp in, not even a dorm room, because I mean, it's like everybody in the same space. So we spent way too much time together and still somehow never actually got sick of each other. It was kind of a fun thing where it's the only set I've been on where no matter what, even if you weren't on the call sheet for that day, every single cast member showed up from start, maybe not start, maybe you'd want to sleep in, but you'd be there from like the time you got there until the end of the day. No one went home early because there was really no place better to be than on set with everybody the whole time. So
We actually went back to Rick's house not too long ago for South by Southwest, and we ended up sleeping in the exact same order we did for the film. Yeah,
Same bunk.
same bunk.
Challenge for the ping pong next time?
Oh, you don't want to see it, man. You don't want to see it.
Very hostile.
Is there one back there?
Yeah, I'm curious to know if you guys can say, what kind of budget were you working with for the film?
I don't know the exact number.
Yeah, I don't think we ever. Was it 5? No, I thought it was.
You could be right, I honestly don't. I have no
We can make up a number for you. We don't know. We just acted in it.
Tell you there were, but there really weren't. And am I right on that, guys? I think, yeah, this set was crazy smooth at all times. You know, the worst thing we got into was one day it rained really hard, filming at the sound machine, so we had to, we had to delay like 2 hours. That was it. Pause. Story.
There was getting kicked out of sound machine. That was the coldest night I've ever felt in my life. Some of the guys would actually just spit out their lines as fast as they possibly could because they wanted to get the scene done. No one wanted to stay in that scene. So when Austin is going, he's screaming at the guys from sound machine, he's actually just trying to spit it out as quick as he can. We're all frozen.
Yeah. Theater party was pretty cool too. That might have been the coldest night, I think.
Yeah,
You want to talk about that, Matt?
Oh yeah.
It's not in the movie, which makes us sad because we went through a little bit of something to make that
We went
up,
through
but
pain.
It's in the, I think it'll be like in the deleted extras and things like that. But Brian and I ran through the Oz theater party at the end in our tidy whities and tube socks. About 5 in the morning, and for whatever reason, it's like the coldest day of the year in Austin. It was like 20 degrees that night.
It was frozen.
So that was fun. And yeah.
We felt confident.
Yeah, totally. It was great. Good times.
Cool. Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, as a particularly big Richard Linklater fan, do you guys have any film by him that resonates very, very well with you? That you'd like to talk about?
Film about him?
Film by him.
By him.
I mean, Days of Confused left, an imprint on me. That was, we talked about that nonstop in college, so what about you guys?
I think Boyhood. I just remember watching that. And I got so used to the idea of going to a film and thinking about, especially the structure of like over that amount of time. I was always kind of waiting when they were in the car. I was like, okay, well, where's the car crash coming? Or when they're throwing the saw blade into the wall, they go, okay, someone's going to walk in front of it and lose a hand, or something's going to happen. And then it got to the end, and I think by the end of it and seeing, like, it's really not always those crazy drastic moments. Like, sometimes it happens in someone's life and it changes it, but it's those subtle little conversations that just hit you in a certain way and stay with you. I think that's kind of what resonated the most with me. It's like I realized looking back, growing up, like, never had that like dramatic experience that like changed my life, but little like key moments and key conversations you hold on to and go, oh yeah, I remember that. I had one year in Atlanta at Ormsby's. We were there the other night. I remember sitting in a booth having a specific conversation and going like, I remember that. Like, that little conversation had a huge impact on my life. So I think Boyhood for me.
Yeah, I really got a soft spot for Waking Life. I really love that movie, and what I think that movie has, which I really believe that ours has as well, is like it's got a message, I think, to live in the now. And when I say that, I mean, like, we have so many distractions nowadays with like social media and Twitter and Facebook, and it's so abrupt and so just, you're always on alert. So it's really cool to kind of watch a film like that and really remind yourself, oh, it's about these moments. It's about the, dissecting life to yourself and kind of figuring out what exactly your perspective means to you. So I really love that movie.
We've got time for one more question. All right, make it a good one.
It's not really a question. I just wanted to let you guys know that all the work that you guys did, the time that you guys spent together, and the way that you guys react to each other and play off each other really comes through. The movie is just a really nice glimpse into this life, and it takes us back to our college days, and everything is
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Give these guys a hand.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. It's so awesome.